Oh, we come to my daily interview series, it's Money Talks, and today I'm with Sten Saar. He's CEO and co-founder of Zego. That's a smart insurance company. Now, we've all imagined what transport might look like in 20 years' time. We might have roads, or should I say, skies full of flying cars, as seen in Back to the Future, that fabulous 1980s movie. Or if heights aren't your thing, maybe a Total Recall-style robot-driven car would be better. Either way, technology is fast evolving. And according to research, 36% of Brits are already using electric or hybrid vehicles, e-scooters or transport apps. But how do we insure these new types of vehicles? Sten believes the insurance industry needs to catch up with the fast-paced development of new transport technology. And Zego insures many public e-scooters that can be seen around Europe's cities, becoming the UK's first insurance unicorn. That's a company worth £1 billion in 2021. And here he is in the studio. It's Sten Saar, the CEO of Zego, my latest guest on Money Talk. Sten, great to have you here in the studio.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome to On the Money. Why is the existing insurance industry, in your view, so behind the times?
Well, the world is evolving rapidly. Like today, you can see that there's so many self-driven cars out there, but the technology is out there to be fully autonomous, for example. And insurance is not necessarily taking into account the latest risk. For example, 60% of accidents happening today are because of driving because of mobile phone. Mobile phones did not exist 10 years ago. Yeah. So, and I think it's very important that we constantly evolve and take into account new risks.
So in that sense, you think autonomous vehicles that drive themselves, are safer than vehicles that you drive, because if the vehicle's driving itself, you're less likely to be on your phone?
Yes, absolutely. At Zego, we have a vision that by 2040, it'll be fully autonomous. There will be cars out on the road that do not have a steering wheel. There will be cars that are one-person cars, two-people cars, and so forth. And that means it'll be no accidents, it'll be no traffic jams, and it'll be so much more safer on our roads for all of us.
I mean, some people will be listening thinking that's completely mad. How can we rely on the technology? Computers go wrong all the time. What could possibly be safer than a human being with all those human instincts driving a car? How sure are you that it is much safer?
It is. When you look at the statistics of a car having an accident and a person having an accident, and on a large scale, you'll see that it is so much safer. Take airplanes, like there's 99% of the time driven by a computer, right? So,
but not the takeoff and landing.
Well, I don't think that's far off either. And with cars, you can see technology already exists. It's out there and it works. It's just a matter of the surrounding services and infrastructure to put in place. From regulatory point of view, all the way through to maintenance, insurance, and other parts. So I think if we really want to be in a place where it's so much safer, cleaner, and autonomous, then we do need to all thousands of companies come together and think what's their role to enable it.
Do you come to this from an insurance background, a tech background, a general business background, or all three?
Yeah, well, personally, this is the first insurance company, but I come from a technology background.
And what happens when you if you insure a driverless vehicle and there's a crash? Like, who's to blame when there's no human involved? The people that develop the software?
That's a great point, in a sense that today you look at the driver, because driver was controlling the vehicle.
Yeah.
Then it's a hardware risk, because there could be some flaws there. Software risk could be in there, or it's a cyber risk. So therefore, the insurance world will be turned upside down, right? But it'll be definitely overall, we save more lives, there'll be no traffic issues, and it'll be significantly cleaner for the world as well.
So if there is a crash, I mean, where is the legal liability if someone, God forbid, runs over a kid in a driverless vehicle? Is it the software company? So the parents of that child have to try and tackle some huge conglomerate that's in another country? I don't wish to be flippant. You've obviously built a superb business, and it's beyond anything I could ever achieve. But I'm just asking questions that I think ordinary people will be thinking.
Absolutely. Like, this is something that we have to work out together with insurance companies, governments, the manufacturers of the vehicles, and so forth. So we all need to come together. Technically speaking, technology is there. So this is the element of bringing together those parts and having a conversation, because the ultimate outcome will be significantly better than it is today.
When are we going to move to autonomous vehicles? There's lots of tests going on. There seems to be a battle in the press and the media with people saying it's absolutely great or it's completely dangerous. You've obviously built a huge business off the back of this and are massively respected. So when are we going to see them?
Well, I think it's a matter of time. It's difficult to predict, but when
within
we talk
10 years, within 5 years?
In our future 2040 vision, we say it's going to be 100% autonomous. So there's going to be phase out of, and all the cars we use today will probably be in a museum. And I encourage everyone to kind of tell us whether we've missed anything or makes sense. If you go on Zego.com/2040, tell us what we missed from the future, and let's together discuss it, because in our opinion, it's exciting and we all have a role to play. Like, insurance is like your microchip in a mobile. Like, you never see it, but it's critical for the mobile to work, right? And there's dozens and dozens of services around it.
I mean, the whole history of human commerce and development is built on insurance. People wouldn't have got in galleons and crossed seas unless there were insurance companies that were willing to, give them some kind of cover. Otherwise, it would be utterly reckless what they were doing. And, of course, in ancient communities, farmers developed insurance industries, didn't they? It's a very long and, indeed, in a general sense, noble thing to do. But if you think by 2040, as you said, we're going to be all autonomous vehicles, presumably then by 2030, there will be some. I know it's not in your gift. It's all about government regulation. There's lots of politics. But in terms of the technology...
Yes, like technology out there, certain car manufacturers today show that vehicle can drive 90% of the time already. So, and when you look at the evolution over the last 3-4 years, it's been rapid. And if you fast forward another 3-4, I'm sure over the next 5 years, we're going to be seeing vehicles on the road autonomously driving. And then it's just a handful initially, but then it'll be growing rapidly from there.
Here's a really practical question. Again, it's not in your gift. You're not the government. All you can do is try and convince ministers and officials and say your piece on shows like this. But e-scooters, I've been using e-scooters in London and other cities in the UK. They're absolutely fabulous. When do you think we're going to be using them on the roads? Do you think we will be using them legally on the roads anytime soon?
I really hope so. Again, when I fast forward decades, I could see that this is one type of a vehicle. Well, in our 2040 vision, there will be one-person car standing up in a little box, and it's a car, and you just do your readings, whatever you want to do, and that takes you from A to B. So in e-scooter sense, it's just one of the many vehicles that will be developed over the next 10 years that will then make the city a much greener place and quicker to go from A to B. There's, of course, with new vehicles, things to iron out, and insurance has a role to play. I'm very happy that we've played a key role there, making sure that multiple companies can actually get the products on the road and in customers' hands. Because initially they were all considered as cars and charge insurance like it's a car, but it's a very different risk in that sense.
Well, Sten, I meet lots of interesting people in this job, and you're right up there. You really are a trailblazer technologically and financially. I wish you all the best of luck, and I look forward to seeing which of your predictions come true. Sten Saar, you are the CEO and founder of the insurance specialist Zego. Thanks a lot for coming here on Money Talks. Wow.